Go down. Go down. Please, for the love of God, stay down.
Today we're building a bed.
We're going to start building a bed.
Technically not today. It's going to take us multiple days. And this is a queen size bed that we've had, well, I guess it's would you say a hodgepodge of different pieces that we've accumulated over the years.
Chance has a lot of siblings.
I'm the youngest of 4, so I get lots of hand-me-downs. Just take a look at it a little closer. So it's a typical metal frame bed with a box spring and mattress. This box spring is actually from my brother, who is about 40 years old now, and he used this box spring when he was in college.
We got the frame from your mom.
So this mattress is from my older sister. She didn't have it back in college, but it was too soft for him.
The headboard is also from your brother.
That's from the second divorce.
Whoa!
Let's turn on our mood lighting. So these are some nice night lights we got off of Amazon.
Nice. How much did they cost? 15 bucks? This looks like a college student's bed. We need to upgrade this.
So we're gonna build a bed frame.
And we are very, very picky.
Yeah, we don't want to pay money for anything, so. So we're gonna build a king-size bed. We're gonna have a headboard, and we're going to do some sort of lighting.
Something simple, minimalist. We have a couple of criteria that we try to stick to every time we build furniture. No waste, that's a big one for us, because whenever we used to do our pallet snobs projects, we'd always end up with this pile of wood just left behind that you throw out. And you're like, what's the point of reclaiming pallets if you're just going to end up wasting half of it?
We really like bringing out the details. We don't want to cover anything up. Not having any extra ornament in the design.
No staining at all.
These are all lessons we've learned from the furniture building we've done. These were items we were commissioned to do, and so they wanted a specific style. They wanted a stain. They wanted a certain rustic look or something like that.
That helped us figure out what we don't want to do.
Right. Simple, clean, minimalist, raw plywood maple that you get at Home Depot.
Matte finish.
Whenever you look at the piece, you can sort of see how it comes together. One thing we pride ourselves in is taking that 4x8 sheet of plywood that you get at Home Depot and using as much of it as possible. The material itself dictates a lot of the design because you need to define some constraints when it comes to building anything.
So another thing we try to do is make it flat back. We haven't figured out what that means yet. We haven't been very successful, but something that we try to do in each of our furniture pieces.
Yeah, because we know that the pieces will have to be moved at some point, and if there's a way to be able to take it apart and then put it back together without losing any structural integrity, then that's what we want to do. In particular with this bed we're going to build, it has to be flat packed because, or not flat packed, but knocked down. It has to be taken apart and reassembled because, well, it's a king size bed. You can't really get that through a doorway very easily if it were one piece.
And we have to move it from one room to another since we're renovating a master bedroom.
For us, we put a lot of effort into the initial design. So with this bed design, we've been doing sketches and 3D models for a couple of weeks now, trying to figure out what's going to work to fit all of our design constraints.
And it may not show up in the eventual design, but we overthink everything. So there's a reason why something's done a particular way, is because we have gone through 100 iterations just to get to that point. To other people, it might look unfinished. A lot of pieces that we make look unfinished, but we know exactly why it looks a certain way, why it's dimensioned a certain way. It might look oversized or undersized or something like that to other people, but there's a reason. The design is the outcome of the constraints.
Cost is also a very important aspect of our design. So you'll see us in this bed design using a few different parts and pieces that are unconventional or not consistent, where it's like, okay, we're using plywood throughout the whole bed design because it doesn't make sense. Certain parts you're not going to see. It's a lot cheaper to use something like a 2x4.
We always end up buying 4x8 sheets of plywood from Home Depot. It's not the best quality, it's not furniture grade. The ends are a little rough. The alternative is spending hundreds on furniture grade plywood. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, go ahead and do that if you want to.
We know Home Depot is going to be around for a while. We know that this 3/4 inch 4x8 sheet of maple plywood is going to be in stock wherever we go. So wherever we're moving, yeah, we can match pieces that we built a couple of years ago. So here's the 3D model of our bed. It's comprised of 2 sheets of 3/4 inch maple plywood, 5 pieces of 2x4 lumber, and king-size bed slats from IKEA. We chose the slats from IKEA because for $30 there was no cheaper option, especially with how expensive lumber is these days. The 2x4s will be attached using joist hangers, and we will add interior legs as needed. This should provide the support needed to counter the asymmetrical legs. The headboard and bed rails are comprised of 2 laminated sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, giving a total thickness of around 1.5 inches. The bed rails are designed as 2 sets of 3 similar pieces with a maximum length of 4 feet. The legs are 6 laminated pieces of 3/4 inch plywood that are attached to the bed rails and headboard using pocket hole joinery. The plies are purposely exposed to break up the long linear pieces. So the initial step is to laminate 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, then make a few simple cuts. Here's how the cuts are arranged on a 4x8 sheet. As you can see, there will be little to no material left over after the cuts are made. Here are the 2 large headboard pieces, the bed rail pieces, and lastly the leg pieces.
So the first thing we are going to do is build our walk table.
These are our husky sawhorses.
2x4s. So we have this 1/2 inch sheet of plywood right on top.
It's a cheap way for us to be able to make an 8-foot long cut. So here is our XPS base that we use. We've got circular saw cut marks.
So today we're going to do 2 cuts in this direction, not this direction.
So now we've made a polyiso sandwich. Or not polyiso, XPS sandwich.
You know better than to call that polyiso. Okay.
Yuck.
Texture.
So as far as tools go, here's what we are using. Need an extension cord, a plethora of spring clamps, tight bond wood glue, skill saw with a Diablo blade on it, a Craig rip cut jig. So here is the Craig AccuCut jig. So this itself is I don't know, 40 or 80 buck, $40 or $80 attachment. So it comes with a guide for up to 4-foot cut, which is all we need. And then what's that? We don't have any cuts over 4 feet.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. That's another one of those things we were talking about. Design and intention.
Yeah, not having an 8-foot, which we have the tool to do an 8-foot long cut, but for simplicity's sakes, we can use this tool.
Which tool do we have?
This one.
The AccuCut's more accurate.
Yeah, but it also relies on us putting a dimension, 2 sets of dimensions, and then drawing a straight line from there, which is what Belinda's doing right now. What the heck do you want, man? Get out of here. Get off my wood. So you place these 2 pieces together, slide the bar across, make sure it's nice and tight together, and then tighten the set screws. I think this allows you to cut just over 4 feet. At least that's my hope, because we need it to cut 4 feet. Okay, so now it doesn't pull apart, and when you flip it over, it's smooth all the way across. So we've also got these special Craig clamps that are made specifically for this piece, so they can just slide in and clamp to the wood that you're cutting, which is very important so it doesn't slide. It does have a rubber base, so it's not
Anti-slip
really
thing.
meant to slide, but
Extra.
Yeah, just an extra precaution. So we've got our line drawn, and you just align the guide with the line, and then we'll clamp it down and run the blade across. Is it cloudy every day now? I'm not tall enough. So let's verify our cut.
3 feet 5 inches and 5 and 7/8.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's definitely not as fast as the table saw, but
Now,
it's
use the tools you have.
a poor man's method. Yeah, a lot.
Anyone wants to give us a table saw, we won't decline.
Yeah, but then if we make videos with a table saw, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's easy to build that. It just had to pay a couple thousand for a table saw."
That's a common comment. Oh, you just need $1,000 CNC routers.
Yeah. Just get my power tools.
This is our master bedroom, workout room,
/ workshop room.
/ workshop, glue up space, demolition room, everything. So we flip these pieces so that the ugly side is on the inside. So when we glue it up, it'll be hidden.
It'll be pretty all over.
Okay, so we've got our 4 pieces of wood, all the clamps ready, and we've got a couple of bottles of glue. We're just going to use regular interior wood glue and leave them sitting here overnight. That's the plan.
It's hard to believe that this is all the wood we're using to make a king-size bed frame.
We're back. Had lunch, a couple of margaritas, in a much better mood now.
So we got our 584 spring clamps laid out, ready to go. Make sure the wood's nice and clean. Toss me one. What can we say while gluing?
Yeah.
Glue luck. Maybe we should make it a habit of having 3 margaritas before we film.
I think so.
And then if we make any mistakes, it's okay.
Yeah. Can you use the clamps to break this dried up glue?
Don't put that in your mouth.
It's okay.
You're going to squirt it in your mouth.
It's not opening up. What else am I supposed to do?
Mine opened.
It's brand new. Maybe since we're just pouring, what if I just do this?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
I
What?
thought you were going to do that corner.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I'm already sitting in this corner. All right, so by using wood glue, we're actually making this wood stronger. Because wood glue is stronger than wood itself.
This is made of wood glue anyway. That's one of the reasons plywood and OSB got so expensive. People think it's because of the lumber shortage, but during the pandemic, the chemical plants in South Texas all closed down, and they produced the glue for OSB.
Is that during the pandemic or during the freeze?
I'm sorry, during the freeze, yes, in February, and they were closed for a couple of months.
The Great Feb Freeze?
Yeah, that's actually why an OSB is just basically wood chips and glue.
Well, that's not why OSB is wood chips and glue.
No, I'm saying that's why OSB went from like $7 to $50 per sheet.
How's it looking?
Oh my God, dude.
All right, there goes half a bottle of wood glue. Oh, we should use those rollers you got in the trunk.
Oh yeah, the one from our tub refinishing. Edges, not all over again. We just added another 1/8 of an inch to our...
Should I put another like bead?
No. Which side are you putting on first?
That side.
Okay, that was easy.
Yeah. I'm going to place these corner clamps first. Where's my other corner clamp?
Oh, it's here in my hand. I was going to do it.
You can do it if you want.
No, I'm not strong enough.
You're not strong enough.
The difference is that these clamps, you see the head, they sit flat on the wood. which we like. These cheaper clamps, you only get, it only sits on the top. It only sits on the wood at that top edge right there, not the rest of the piece, which isn't ideal, but it still works. But we like the surface area that this covers. 3 margaritas.
Where'd you get these two?
I don't know, they were just over there.
All right, now we got the edges. So let's put some of our Bowflex weights on top.
I'm gonna sit on it all night.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Glue dump.
Part 2.
Part 2. Whose idea was it to buy these small ones?
Yours. We do need the big one. I don't know who that actress was, the one who just pouted the whole movie.
The monkey?
No, the human.
The ape?
No, that was Helena Bonham Carter. But the human.
Oh, yeah. Helena Bonham. Helena Bonham Carter.
There was that song in the 90s that said, she'd be a whole lot prettier if she smiles once in a while. Because in a smile.
Lullaby?
Like that was Lullaby?
Yeah. Sean Mullins?
Sean Mullins.
Great song. Yeah, I always liked that song because he says the most interesting 40-year-olds I know have no idea what they're doing with their life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm like, I still got time.
I'm getting some palette snobs PTSD.
You ready?
For what?
To glue
No,
up?
this side has way more glue than that side.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Center weight?
Mm-hmm. All right, let's put the weights on it. Product samples from Belgium. Why should you wipe up the glue early?
Because it'll dry.
Are we going to let this sit for 24 hours?
Yep. Thanks, Home Depot, for all the clamps.
We have laminated these 4 sheets of wood, and now we're going to go outside and start cutting them up. We don't have much wiggle room, so we have to be pretty careful with the cuts. A little bit worried, but we'll make it work.
We will make it work.
What do they say in that project runway? Make it work. So we try to get some clean edges, try to be precise, but you can see it shifts. It's not perfect.
Ready? Okay, I do want my mask. So we got all of our cuts made. This is the entirety of the wood.
So sexy. What do they call it on HGTV? Texture.
So these are our bed rail pieces.
This is part of the headboard. These 2 big full pieces are part of the headboard. These are 3 legs.
Majority of the wood is the headboard.
How did you pick the sides?
I just said it the first way I saw it.
All right, so these pieces are not perfect. They vary just a little bit in width because we didn't have a table saw. So what we're doing is we're going to glue them on this flat surface. Make sure that one side is completely flush, and then this side it'll be on the inside of the bed or the back side of the headboard, so it won't really be seen, but we can sand it down later.
Yeah, we're going to sand it with the orbital sander later.
And try to
But
get it smooth.
this is the leg piece that we're building.
Yeah.
3 laminated 1.5 pieces together. Now, our plan is for them to be 12 inches tall, which these are 14 roughly. So we've got some room to trim off the edges.
Yeah. If you want a taller bed, we can make them 13 inches.
Nope. That's what's gonna happen. So we got our clamp stash ready to go. The most expensive part of building anything with wood is clamps.
If we aren't very chatty, it's because we haven't had 3 margaritas yet.
Ah, man, now if we make a mistake, we can be blamed. I will blame it on sobriety.
Press it down.
Don't worry about ruining the surface underneath. That's just a headboard. Yours sucks?
Yep.
So does mine. What you can do is push the clamps down and use those as a flattening piece. That seems pretty Leggett. Is yours perfect?
Yeah.
Oops, we used too many clamps.
Looks good here.
Okay. Such a good day to be gluing wood inside. They say by using wood glue, you're actually making the material stronger. So Belinda, why are we laminating wood so that you see the grain?
Well, one, it works with our design, and two, I think it's being honest. This is maple veneer plywood. It's a bunch of stuff and then veneer. So that's what we're saying with exposing the grain.
This also helped us be able to make no cuts larger than 4 feet.
Ooh!
Yes, this one's a little bit wonky. So we got all of our pieces cut to length. We refined them a little bit yesterday, sanded, sealed. Now we got these leg pieces that we need to unclamp and then sand a little bit because they're a little bit rough. This one's actually pretty good. But there's a little bit of sanding that needs to happen here, and these need to be sealed.
Those bugs are going crazy.
We're gonna hop into the assembly after that.
Exciting.
Okay? Hopefully we get it done today.
Class.
Colors. Smooth, not so smooth.
It's a whole mixture of clamps.
Last but not least, look at all those plies. So we're using a random orbital sander, Bosch brand. It's got a little dust collection system. Not that it works great, but. So we've got a plethora of sandpapers, you know, just that cheap pack you get off Amazon. We have 1,000 all the way down to, I believe, 240 is the most coarse sandpaper we have.
So the lower the number, the coarser it is. So to get more material off it, you want to use a coarser sandpaper.
Yes.
Like 80 or really.
Yeah, you can go
don't
all the
have
way
that,
down,
though.
but since our pieces are relatively flat, we want to take just a little bit off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the 240, which this was a piece I was using a little bit last night.
Just stick it on there. It's like a Velcro stick.
Yep.
And then just sand.
So fortunately with these pieces, they need to be 1.5 inches thick. And they're actually, what, 1 9/16 inches? Maybe a little bit less than that. But we have a little bit of wiggle room.
Now we usually use Minwax polyacrylic and not polyurethane, because we've read that polyurethane can sometimes stain wood pieces.
Yeah, it discolors it.
Yeah, but Home Depot doesn't sell Minwax polyacrylic anymore. They only sell this water-based polyurethane. Looks exactly the same as polyacrylic. It goes on the same. It hasn't discolored.
Yeah, I think the difference is that this is water-based.
Water-based, not oil.
I think the oil-based polyurethane is what causes discoloration.
So just using a Worcester cheap brush from Home Depot.
Yep.
And just dip it in and apply. And that's it.
Everything's from Home Depot. So we're your 3 margaritas in, once again. So we got all of our pieces cut down to size now, sanded and sealed. Now it's time for some hardware. So we're gonna use these bed rails that we
bought off Amazon for pretty cheap.
like 18 bucks or so. It's a set of 4.
Set of 4 for 18 bucks.
Yeah, so long to short, long to short. So we need to plan this out. So we've fastened 1 corner bed rail. We did it off camera just to know how to do it. It took a little while, but we learned some stuff, and so I think we've got our method figured out. So with these bed rails, we've actually attached washers to them.
You should do what the makeup artist do. You should do. So that you don't see your face and then the camera focuses. You put your that.
Well, then how can we tell?
Whenever you do makeup products, you
but
put
your
this
face is in it. There we go, right there. Anyways, we put some washers on here based on Amazon review. They recommended you do that so that the bolt won't bottom out into the wood. All right, corner clamps. Let's get that somehow aligned just right. We've managed to do all this without a joiner, without a planer, without a table saw.
And a sliding miter saw.
Without a, we used our chop saw, which only cuts 6 inches deep.
Okay, so this is way better than the previous edge. That took forever.
No, I think we're just good at this.
7 inches, and the reason I'm using
fabric tape measure. That's for like fashionistas, right?
1 foot, 1 inch, half. Okay, 1 inch, half, plus an eighth, 1 inch, half, 1 5/8 on each side.
Belinda struggles with the imperial system. So these rails are 7 inches, means 3.5 is the midpoint. We go 1 5/8 inches above and below because the bed rail bracket is 3 1/4. I just did that math in my head. We didn't spend 30 minutes off screen figuring that out.
I like the behind the scenes video of building furniture, because you can just make it look so simple in a 10-minute video, and put it together, it's all done. And you go behind the scenes and like, oh, kill me.
The goal is to not break this bit by the time we're done with this. Yeah, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. This is supposed to be on this one, not that one.
Yep.
Oh, god damn it. Oh my god. It's not going in.
Oh, thought you got bit by something. A lot of the videos we see online, people making beds, they're not knockdown beds.
Exactly.
So they just put them together and they leave it. I assume they disassemble it and get rid of it because it's a hunk of junk. But our goal is to be very real with this and know that we're going to have to move this bed multiple times. And it's a king-size bed. You can't exactly just pick that up and walk it through the door. If only we could disassemble the mattress itself. Maybe there's an idea. When we were sanding, or when I was sanding, I thought I would be sweating on the pieces, but I didn't.
Good job.
Maybe I did, I just didn't find it.
You want to make sure?
I trust you.
Didn't sound like you do.
No, it doesn't. I was just thinking about the rails themselves. Like, is there going to be some sort of issue whenever we get this all done that it won't physically be able to hook in? The side rails are actually the short pieces. Both of those are going to have this on there, which hooks in. The headboard and the footboard, we'll call it, are going to have the bolt-in pieces, which
Correct.
means it should work fine.
Yes.
But we'll see when we get there. Oh, I should have been getting the drill ready instead of yapping about lightweight mattresses.
Remember those Frank Lloyd Wright houses we toured in Chicago? They had
Two different beds.
mattresses.
Yeah. Oh, that's what
different
we were
beds.
going to do for this.
For what?
We were going to build 2 different beds and make people think we don't even sleep in the same bed. Not exactly a shop vac.
Okay.
Time to hook them back on.
Well, we have to put the other plate on first a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Stupid. I act like I've never done this.
Probably not the right way to do this, but
Whoa.
we're going to do what works for us.
We're going to do it the best way. So this is number 2. Halfway there, 50%.
Yeah, then we got bed rails and then the feet and
These are the bed rails.
bolts and...
Oh, yeah. Then we got to... Yeah, obviously this isn't the extent of the bed rails. This is not a mini twin.
We're supposed to be renovating this house, not building a bed.
Well, you can blame purple for that. All right, look at that. This reminds me of a childhood bed. I used to have a twin-size bed that had bed rails like this.
That's our...
Headboard. Okay, back to work. Yeah, I guess when the sun goes down, we'll need those extra
Sun
lights.
goes down. We're going to do this till the sun goes down.
And beyond. We could try to come up with good ideas for a thumbnail of us working, but nothing will do as good as just a finished photo of the bed.
It's going to be the title, No Waist, Flat Back, Scandi, Japandi.
Whoa! Scanty clad. I mean, wait. See, that's what that makes me think of. Scantily clad.
What's that movie, Ghost? Where they do the pottery scene.
Uh-huh.
All right, you can go now. I'm done.
But it's a dead guy.
Third time.
Like I said, the last time I did this, I've never done this before.
Is this a waste of time? Is this way too expensive because of all our manual labor? It's more than that. It's more than just the time spent.
Yeah, I feel like if you're having fun,
Yeah.
it's not a waste of time. Like, what else do you do with your life?
You think it's going to stand with just 4 feet?
Yes, 4 feet in the bed rails, it will stand. Do you have any other thing you want to do this weekend other than build a bed? Like, did you want to spend time doing anything else with your life?
I'm tightening. Ah!
What happened?
We do get workouts on the weekends. It's either yard work or
Manual labor?
manual labor.
It's good because we sit on our ass for 40 hours a week. So yours is like 80 hours a week. Not going in? You want to trade places?
No, because that'll mean I'm weak. Bed.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. That's what you're doing?
You said bed.
Beb. That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when I said I'll go grocery shopping today? Sorry.
Missed my foot.
I'm gonna get you. What does your shirt mean, Chance?
Sublime. It's a feeling.
You bought 2 boxes of these, right?
Yep. You want to put some more on?
No. I think I've worn every single Duluth shirt I have in this one video.
Hey, we're both wearing blue.
Yeah. Oh, you wore the same shirt?
Yeah, I'm wearing the same thing.
It's a different day.
So, as with every woodworking build, it's time for pocket holes. So we tried to design the bed without the use of any pocket holes, but inevitably it happens. I mean, there's always one joint that it's just, it would be so much easier if it was just pocket holes. So,
Is it the easy way out?
yes,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it's also the poor man's
Yeah.
way of doing it because, like, yeah, we could use dominoes or mortise and tenon joints or something, but we don't have the tools for that. You can buy the Craig, the simple pocket hole jig, and a clamp for what?
50 bucks?
Around 50 bucks total. So what we're going to do is drill pocket holes into our bed rail pieces to attach our leg pieces. Pocket holes coming from the rail to the leg. And they'll be on the inside, you won't see them. We're also using glue, wood glue, to
Reinforce it.
Yeah, make the joint stronger. So now we're just going to drill a bunch of holes.
I don't know how we're going to make this exciting.
So we've got our pocket holes drilled. So the important part about using the Craig jig system is knowing your material thickness. So what I've done is I've used the included Allen wrench and loosened the stop and adjusted it to the thickness of my material. We're using 2-inch pocket hole screws, specific for soft woods or plywood. And if you look at the back, you can see that a 2-inch screw length is for 1.25 inch material. They did not have 2.5 inch at the store. And since the pocket hole is not the main source of strength for our connection, we are just using these 2-inch screws that they have. So here's the jig itself that you use, and you need to set this to the thickness of your material. So we have it set to 1.25 inch. So that's how we've established where we're drilling our holes.
So we're trying to attach one part of the headboard to the leg, but it's not that great because this table flexes, so we can't get the bottom side flat.
It is what it is.
Just do it.
Yep. What? Out of glue? Whoa! Sling it. Oh, we don't need to go all the way down.
Ah, shoot. Okay, good. Go. 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 Good job.
It's
Pulling apart.
You're still pushing up, right?
Pushing. Good job.
Is that good?
I think so. No idea what we're doing. Good job.
Oh, that was out of frame.
Okay, I'm getting over my issues now.
OCD?
Yeah, it's not gonna be what I thought it is, but it's okay.
One rail's done.
What happened?
Okay. Is that good?
I guess so. Table moved. You think if you had a proper wood working space would be any better? Or
Nope.
wood is just wood?
I don't like.
You kind of have to. Yeah, we're probably going to have a lengthy lessons learned at the end of this. Like every piece that we do, there's always something like, oh, I should have done this way. Oh, I should have done that way. It's kind of like in life, right? You never make the same mistakes twice. Well, ideally, you shouldn't make the same mistake twice. Like a million mistakes to make. Every time you make a mistake, it's a new one.
I'm just thinking that woodworkers probably never have a perfect piece. I mean, they know every little detail, how it comes together. Yeah, I mean, we've never made a perfect piece. You can always find something wrong with it. Usually, whenever you're building a piece of furniture, you put it together, then you sand it, and that can cover up a lot of messed up details.
Remember that guy, Dallas Makerspace, Tom?
Yeah, Tom?
Spend hours on a single thing.
Yeah, he made some beautiful pieces, but...
It wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Still flawed.
His craft was excellent, but there's only one perfect person, right? Jesus Christ.
That is not what we're going to do. From afar, they're beautiful.
Absolutely. Good?
Good.
Okay.
That is the cleanest joint I've done so far.
Here's the headboard.
Time to be done with this.
Time is it?
Say 10, 11.
Beer 30?
Okay.
All right. Bonne chance.
Bonne chance. Come on. There's a huge gap. It's worse than the other side. I was sitting on it. You saw me sitting on it, and it still pushed it up. Go down. Go down. Please, for the love of God, stay down.
Good?
I don't know. It's upside down. You don't even know what it looks like on the front. What do you mean you love it? It's pushing up. It's pushing up big time. Oh.
Yeah, I got to take out.
Yeah, okay.
It looks horrible.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. You fixed it. You fixed the whole thing.
Good?
Good. Like I have no leverage at all. Like if I push it, it just comes right back. I'm not doing anything. So bottom is perfect. And then it comes out.
Or top is perfect and the bottom comes out.
So something seriously screwed. So we failed.
So welcome back to day 4, 5, or 6. I'm not sure which, but
It's 2 weeks after the last video we shot.
yeah. So here we are sitting inside of our lovely king-size bed, and
It didn't work out.
yeah, we've decided we've hit a roadblock, and we're gonna scrap the whole thing.
We're not going to throw the wood out. We're going to use it for something else. It's not going to go to waste. But there were a lot of things wrong with this design. It just didn't work out. We tried to be too cute.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. Too cute, really. We tried to do too much with the tools that we have and the skill that we have, really. As you can see, the bed is sitting on 2x4s right now because of our
Wonderful 4-leg design.
Yeah, our 4-leg.
Is it legged or legged? Legged.
4-legged.
4-legged, right?
4-legged. Have you ever in your long-legged life seen a long-legged sailor with a short-legged wife? The bed has asymmetrical legs, 4 of them. So I'm actually interested to know if this thing stands without the 2x4s. We had plans to do some 2x4s with joist hangers running across and some extra supports internally, but after putting on the bed rail fasteners and the pocket holes, we really just kept getting more and more frustrated with the design.
Okay, so pro and con list of this design.
Yeah.
Pros, love that it exposed the plies and said, okay, this is made of plywood, not real solid wood. It was interesting. Wasn't like any other typical bed design that's out there on the internet. The lamination worked really well.
Yeah.
Like the actual design where we actually laminated the entire 4x8 sheet and then just had single cuts. That worked out great.
Yeah, and watching the video, you're probably wondering, hey, this looks great. Why not keep going? Well, if you look at the details, it's really disappointing to us.
Yeah.
We were going to keep seeing those things, and we want to keep this bed for a long time. So,
And if you're putting it out on the internet saying it's an easy bed to build, it's a DIY friendly bed, you're lying because it's not. It really wasn't. I mean, and we didn't have a table saw. We used the tools that we have, and we like to tell people you can still build this even without a table saw.
yeah, unlike the DIY videos that say, hey, I built this bed for $100 and $10,000 worth of power tools.
So all the bad things about this, the pocket holes were very difficult. So we had this surface over here, the top surface that we needed to align, and the outer surface as well. And it didn't work.
Yeah, we struggled to get those things to align using our work surface.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a method with clamps that we could have probably gotten better, but when it comes to pocket holes, when you use them, it separates before it pulls together, and that separation always misaligns, it seems, whenever it comes back together, and it's never exactly the way you want it to be. And we were so precise with our cuts that it had to be flush, exactly the way we wanted, and it just didn't turn out that way. And I would say the legs turned out okay. There is some inconsistencies, but I would say the headboard was the big
Yeah.
no because the big plywood piece itself is bowing slightly, which caused a whole slew of issues with the pocket holes.
Yeah.
There's going to be pieces that bow, even with plywood, engineered wood, it's still going to be bowing to some extent. It's a lot better than getting some rough lumber and milling it down yourself with tools that we don't have. So I think we have the right idea with the use of plywood. The big thing for us was the legs and the headboard. One of the things about the headboard was that it doesn't touch the ground, and that's a missed opportunity to get a lot of extra support. Because that thing is 2 pieces of 3/4 inch laminated, solid.
Extremely
It's
heavy.
So heavy.
Nothing stands on its own. Nothing. Like this wouldn't stand on this because obviously each of them has just one single leg, and you can't assemble this by yourself. You need at least 2 people. And the other thing is that it's not, the angles aren't 90 degrees. So we measured diagonally from this end to this end and that to that end, and they're not equal. That means the whole thing is twisted just a little bit.
Yeah, we can adjust that.
We
though.
can
It's a
adjust it, I know,
micro
but
adjustment.
having, just making sure that we have some sort of corner brace over there, saying that is 90 degrees, is one less thing to worry about when you're assembling.
Our goal with the next design is to have fewer connections, fewer opportunities for error, really.
The other good thing about this one is that it's flat back.
Yeah, that's one of the constraints that's you don't see on the internet
Yeah.
very often is everyone can build this bed, but they're just screwing everything together, and once it's here, it's here, it's not moving. And with us, we want to be able to disassemble it and reassemble it, and we want to stick to that. That's causing us to have to think about the details so much more.
So you want some margin of error when assembling this stuff. Can be easily assembled by one person. Has to be interesting. It just can't be a bland, boring bed because there are plenty of those out there. I mean, there's so many people that just buy a regular bed and then make it interesting with 50 cushions, 50 pillows, and then a throw, and then a seat at the end of the bed, which you don't need. You end up throwing all that stuff off your bed anyway. So the bed should be interesting and speak for itself in a simple mattress, simple cover. That's it. You don't need to waste your money on extra fluff.
In our case, the fluff extends to the frame itself. We don't want any extra pieces. Like a lot of people will use 2x4 on the outside and then just frame it. They'll use plywood on the outside and then just frame it with 2x4s on the inside. And we want to be true to our design and actually expose what we're doing.
So we've got a long list of requirements while building this bed.
I am proud of the way this bed looks. Like from afar, I'm sure it looks very nice, but whenever you get up close, there's just things that are off. A 16th inch, an 1/8 of an inch. It's
annoying.
Yeah, it's an issue for us. But we may have to overcome that at some point.
Yeah. It's wood. It's made by us. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But at least something better than this.
So let's walk you around the bed real quick, get some close-up shots, and then we'll start disassembling.
The bed rails worked very well.
So this flush detail right here is very difficult to achieve with better old fasteners. It's going to be difficult to get that consistent look
Because
each time.
this moves up and down.
And here's our pocket holes.
So you can see this isn't completely flush, and this sticks out just a little bit.
Up top, there's a little bit of a lip, you can see. This is where it really went awry. You can see we had some laminated pieces cracking. Our alignment got way off because of the bowing pieces. It's pretty nice detail.
That was flush.
Of a little bit of a gap.
and it's gone.